Recording 5. I'm back in the filing room. The one at the bottom of the staircase, basement level, single bulb overhead, filing cabinets along 3 walls. I came back here specifically because of something I noticed when I was leaving last session. I was moving toward the staircase, and the light caught the underside of the cabinet nearest the door at a low angle. There was something under it. I didn't stop to look. I want to document why I didn't stop. I heard movement from upstairs and I left. Tonight, the building has been quiet for the 40 minutes I've been here. I'm going to find out what's under that cabinet. That's the objective for this recording. One thing, I want to know what that object is and whether it has anything to do with the rest of this. Before I get to it, I need to note what's changed in the ledger since last time. I brought both ledgers down here, the one from the main room upstairs and the one from the desk in the room beyond door 47. I wanted to compare them side by side because I've been treating them as separate documents, but I'm not certain they are. The entries in both have been shifting. I documented the O'Connor erasure and Hannah Morrison's name in recording 4. Tonight I opened the upstairs ledger to the same section and found something different again. O'Connor's entry is back. Not the altered version, the original entry, spacing and all. The one I first noticed was irregularly placed. The ink looks the same as when I first saw it, as if the intermediate versions, the unknown entity replacement, the blank page, none of that happened. I set it beside the filing room ledger and compared them entry by entry through the first 40 pages. They are not synchronized. The upstairs ledger and the filing room ledger cover overlapping date ranges, but the entries don't match. Some names appear in both, with different dates. Some names appear in one and not the other. The handwriting in the filing room ledger is slightly different. Same general style, but the letter formations are inconsistent in ways that suggest either a different person wrote portions of it or the same person writing at very different times. The paper stock is different too. The filing room ledger is heavier, slightly off-white, where the upstairs ledger has gone more yellow with age. 2 ledgers that should be part of the same system are not telling the same story. I checked Hannah Morrison's entry in both. Upstairs, her name clear and present, no crossing out. Filing room ledger, she doesn't appear at all. I went through it twice. Her name isn't there. O'Connor's entry in the filing room ledger reads differently than either version I've seen upstairs. His name is present, dates are present, but the marginal notation, the one that was irregularly spaced in the upstairs version, here it reads as a standard entry. Nothing irregular about the placement at all. Same person. 2 ledgers. 2 different records. I'm leaving both open on the desk while I work. I want to see if either one changes while I'm in the room. The cabinet is a standard 4-drawer filing unit. Metal, gray, the kind that was in every municipal office built between 1950 and 1980. It's positioned with its left side approximately 4 inches from the wall. The gap underneath is maybe 3 inches of clearance. I'm on my knees now with my phone light angled under the gap. The object is still there. It's small. Fits in a palm, roughly rectangular, maybe the size of a deck of cards but thinner. The casing looks metallic, dark, and it's blinking. A single small light on one face cycling on and off at a steady interval. Slow. Approximately 1 blink every 4 seconds. I'm going to pull it out. It's heavier than it looks. The casing is metal, smooth on most surfaces, but textured on one face, a pattern I can feel more than see in this light. I'm turning it toward the bulb overhead. The textured face has a grid pressed into it. Shallow lines crossing at regular intervals, the same kind of grid I've been seeing on the map. And at the center of the grid, a crescent mark. Pressed into the metal, not painted or printed. Pressed in with something sharp, the same way the crescent marks are cut into the wall maps upstairs. The light is still blinking. 1 blink every 4 seconds. I need to be precise about what I'm looking at. This is not an old object. The casing has no corrosion, no surface oxidation, no wear on the edges. The light works. Whatever powers it is, either still active or was recently replaced. This was not left here decades ago and forgotten. Someone placed this under this cabinet, and the device is still running. The grid on the textured face, I'm holding it next to my copy of the map now. The scale is different, but the line spacing matches. The proportions are the same. If I treat the grid on the device as a scaled version of the map grid, the crescent mark at the center would correspond to a specific intersection. I need better light to confirm which one, but the correspondence is close enough that I'm noting it now. The device is warm, not room temperature, warm like it's been running for a while and generating heat. I expected cold metal from something sitting on a basement floor for an unknown period of time. The warmth is wrong. The warmth means it's active and has been active for long enough to retain heat. I turned it over 3 times looking for a seam, an access panel, any indication of how to open it or interact with it. Nothing. The casing is continuous on all 6 faces. I pressed the crescent mark. Nothing changed. I pressed the center intersection of the grid. Nothing. I pressed the corners of the grid in sequence. The blink rate didn't respond to any of it. Whatever this device does, it doesn't do it through the exterior markings. It does it on its own terms. I've been sitting with it for about 10 minutes now, watching the blink interval. It hasn't changed. 4 seconds, reliable, no variation. I've been counting. What I want to know is whether the interval is meaningful or arbitrary. 4 seconds. The 4th crescent appeared on the photograph. The cassette in the room beyond door 47 had the number 4 pressed into its shell. I'm not concluding anything from that. I'm noting it because I need a record of when I noticed the correspondence, not after the fact. There's nothing else visible on the exterior. No seam I can find that would indicate a battery compartment or access panel. The grid and crescent on the textured face are the only markings. The light is embedded in the smooth face opposite, flush with the surface, no protrusion. I tried pressing the crescent mark, nothing changed. I tried pressing the center of the grid, nothing changed. The blink continues at 4 seconds regardless of what I do to the exterior. So it's either not interactive, or I don't know how to interact with it. I've moved to the desk with the device in front of me. The ledger is still open to O'Connor's entry. I glanced at it when I sat down, still showing the original version. Still present. There's something I want to test. The device was under the cabinet in the corner, furthest point in the room from the staircase. I want to see if the interval changes when I move it to different positions. I'm documenting this before I do it because I want a clean record of the baseline. Baseline, 4 seconds per blink. Device on desk in center of room. I've moved it to the corner where the cabinet is. Same interval, 4 seconds. I've moved it to the foot of the staircase. Standing at the bottom step, the interval has changed, it's faster. I'm counting approximately 2.5 seconds now. The blink rate increased when I moved it closer to the staircase. I moved it back to the center of the room. 4 seconds again. Back to the staircase. 2.5. It's responding to position. I need to think about what that means carefully before I write anything down. But the immediate implication is that the device is measuring something, proximity to a specific point, or a signal that's stronger near the staircase than in the center of the room. A direction. The device is pointing in a direction. The staircase leads up. I've been standing at the foot of the stairs for the past several minutes watching the interval. 2.5 seconds. Consistent. I took 1 step up and counted again. Faster. I took another step. Faster still. I'm holding this device. The light is accelerating as I move up these stairs. I need to record clearly that I did not expect this, that this is happening in real time as I document it, and that I'm choosing to follow it because the alternative is to put it back under the cabinet and leave. And I've been coming to this building for weeks, and I'm done leaving before I find out what's here. The staircase is narrow, single file. The walls on either side are close enough that I can feel both of them with my elbows if I spread my arms. The wood is old. Each step has a different sound, a different pitch to the creak, and I've started to learn which boards are loudest and avoid them without thinking about it. That's the kind of thing you notice when you've been coming to a place long enough. The building becomes familiar even when it shouldn't. The bulb in the filing room below is still on. I can see it at the bottom of the stairwell, throwing a rectangle of yellow light across the floor. The upper landing is darker. The hallway light up here is dimmer, a smaller bulb, and it doesn't reach the stairwell. I'm counting. On the third step, the interval dropped to 2 seconds. On the fifth step, it dropped again. I'm estimating 1.7 now. It's getting difficult to count precisely because the blinks are coming fast enough to feel rhythmic rather than discrete. The vibration in the casing has increased. I noticed a faint vibration when I first pulled the device out. Barely perceptible, more of an impression than a sensation. Now it's clear. Not unpleasant. Like holding something with a small motor inside. I'm on the landing now. 1.5 seconds. The light is close to a pulse at this point. Fast enough that the gaps between blinks are shorter than the light itself. The device is warm in a way it wasn't at the bottom of the stairs. More heat. Whatever it's responding to is strongest up here. The landing hallway runs left toward the main records room, right toward the room where I found the second ledger. I moved the device left. The interval slowed slightly, maybe 1.8 seconds. I moved it right. Back to 1.5. Straight ahead. There's a door I've passed twice and not opened. No marking on it. No number, no crescent. Nothing on the surface to distinguish it from the wall paneling on either side. I walked past it both times because there was nothing to indicate it was a door until right now when I'm standing in front of it with the device blinking at 1.5 seconds telling me this is where I should be. I'm reaching for the handle. The device stops blinking. Not slower, not a longer interval. The light goes off and does not come back on. I stand there counting, 5 seconds, 10, 15. The light is off. The device is dark and still in my hand, and from somewhere behind the unmarked door, a sound, low. Mechanical, like something on the other side of the wall just switched on. I have my hand on the handle and I have not turned it yet, and the sound is getting